hope you all are doing well this morning. So, it is almost summertime. What beautiful weather we're having lately. And what we're going to be doing for the summertime is saying goodbye to Shine at Home, but hello to a very special thing. Now, you have to wait until the end of the episode, and there's going to be a special announcement about what we're going to be doing this summer. So check that out. Also, at the very beginning of our time together, you were given a fish. Do you remember that? And it had a piggy bank here. So we've been saving up money for World Renew, and what I'd like you to do is, if you have any money in your fish, please bring it to the church sometime during the week, and we will count all this money and we will send it over to World Renew together. So thank you in advance for doing that. So let's all do the breathe together before we start our episode. All right, let's do it together. Calm your head, calm your heart, and calm your hands as we slowly breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Our memory work this week comes from Exodus 14, verses 21 and 22. Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and all that night the Lord drove the sea back with a strong east wind and turned it into dry land. The waters were divided, and the Israelites went through the sea on dry ground, with a wall of water on their right and on their left. God makes a way. Moses and God's people escaped out of Egypt and into the wilderness. They didn't know the way, but God knew the way, and He would show them. I will bring you to a new home, a special land, God promised them. I will look after you. I am with you. God sent a big cloud for them to follow, a pillar of smoke stretching up to the sky. It moved in front of them as they walked and shaded them from the blazing heat of the day. And when it was time to rest, it stopped. All through the cold desert nights, it kept them warm, glowing like fire. God led His people through the desert to the edge of a great sea. They were just wondering how to cross it when suddenly they heard a terrible thundering and pounding. It sounded almost like horse hooves. They shaded their eyes to look back and screamed. It was! Pharaoh and his army were coming to get them. Pharaoh had changed his mind again. "Get my slaves back!" he screeched, and charged out into the desert after them, with 600 of his finest horsemen and every single chariot in Egypt. What were God's people going to do? In front of them was a big sea. It was so big, there was no way around it. But there was no way through it. It was too deep. They didn't have any boats, so they couldn't sail across. And they couldn't swim across because it was too far, and they would drown. And they couldn't turn back because Pharaoh was chasing them. They could see the flashing swords now, glinting in the baking sun, and the dust clouds and chariot after scary chariot surging towards them. So they did the only thing there was left to do. Panic! "We're going to die!" they shrieked. "Don't be afraid," Moses said. "But there's nothing we can do," they screamed. "God knows you can't do anything," Moses said. "God will do it for you. Trust Him and watch." "But there's no way out," they cried. "God will make a way," Moses said. Another minute and it would have been over. But then the strangest thing happened. God made the pillar of smoke move. It moved behind his people and hid them from the Egyptians. Then God sent a strong east wind to blow all night long. It blew on the water of the big sea. It blew it to the left and it blew it to the right until it blew it into two towering walls of water. And there, right through the middle of the sea, a muddy pathway opened up. And God's people walked across on dry land. When the Egyptians tried to follow, the walls of water crashed back down on them and swallowed them up. God's people were safe. They danced and laughed and sang and thanked God. When there had been no way out, God had made a way. Many years later, once again, God was going to make a way where there was no way. From the beginning, God's children had been running from him and hiding. God knew his children could never be happy without him. But they couldn't get back to him by themselves. They were lost. They didn't know the way back. But God knew the way. And one day, he would show them. It's time for I Wonder question. I wonder how the Israelites felt when they were sandwiched between the Egyptians and the water. Please pray with me. Dear God, thank you for our Bible story today. Today we learned that the Israelites had to trust you to take care of them, even though they didn't know how you would. Thank you for keeping your special family safe from harm. Lord, sometimes we end up in a scary situation. Sometimes we feel alone and wonder if you are there with us and that we can trust you. Please help us to remember this story when we feel like that. Help us to look to you, pray to you, and trust you during the scary times. We love you, God. Amen. Our activity this week is called the Red Sea Craft. It's so much fun. Check out this video and see how you make it. You can even find some people figures at home and use them as the Israelites crossing the Red Sea. Have fun crafting! Don't forget to check out our playlist this week. This week's song is called God Will Make a Way. It's a beautiful song. It talks about how God makes a way for us even when we can't see a way. It sings about how God will be our guide and hold closely to our side. Take a few minutes to listen to this beautiful song with your family while thanking God for making a way, always. During the summer months, we're going to be taking a break from Shine at Home. But I'm so excited to say that we are going to start a summer book club in July. The book we'll be focusing on this summer is called Little Pilgrim's Big Journey. And here's just a little hint of what the story is all about. This is a story of a pilgrim and his progress to the celestial city. A story that has inspired countless generations, now fully illustrated and faithfully adapted for the next generation. Believe the king's word. Follow the king's path. Seek the king's city. The Little Pilgrims Book Club starts Sunday, July 4th. Every Sunday, starting July 4th, there will be a video posted on our First CRC YouTube page. Click there to follow along with the book. Rachel will also be hosting Zoom gatherings every Sunday morning at 8:50 for those who would like to follow along together. If you'd like your own copy of the book, check out the link below for ordering details. So, come along with us and the Little Pilgrim this summer. It's sure to be an exciting journey. That's it for this week. Have fun shining at home. We'll see you later.